Hello and welcome to StudyIQ. I am your friend Rahul Saigaonker, and in today's agenda, we are going to discuss about gig economy. I'm quite sure you have some questions in your mind. You must be asking, sir, why all of a sudden you're discussing about gig economy? Why you're analyzing gig economy? Have you heard of this news? I'm quite sure you must have heard of this news if you're in Delhi or in NCR region. I'm quite sure that you have also used the services of Blinkit. Recently, Blinkit's delivery workers have started protesting in Delhi NCR region because of changes in the pay structure. In fact, when I was in Delhi, I had used the services of Blinkit. I would say not Blinkit exactly, because Blinkit is a company which came last year. But when I was in Delhi, Blinkit was actually Grofers, right? And I had used Grofers as a service. Grofers, they used to deliver groceries or any stuff that you order on your app directly to your home. It's like a delivery e-commerce player, right? So last year, Zomato acquired Grofers and rechristened it to Blinkit. So this entire issue is connected to Blinkit's delivery workers. So we'll try to understand this news, what exactly has happened. But the main agenda for discussion is not regarding Blinkit, or is not regarding Zomato or Swiggy or one particular company, but we are going to discuss the entire gig economy as an issue, because this delivery workers protest, this is connected to gig workforce. So we are going to understand gig economy in India and everything in and around that gig economy. In fact, let's begin our discussion with a question, a typical mains kind of a question, where the question gives you a statement. The gig economy encompasses freelancers, online platform workers, self-employed, on-call workers, and other temporary contractual workers. And India is actually emerging as a hub of this gig workforce, or India is becoming a gig economy very, very fastly. So you have to discuss, in light of this statement of gig economy, you need to explain what are the reasons for the rise of gig workforce in India, and also highlight the issues. And one of the issues is this particular news. One of the issues is the pay structure. So we are going to understand everything about gig economy from the perspective of this news about Blinkit. Now, to answer this particular question, you will get very good fodder or very good content in this particular video. Now, so do not go anywhere. Be with me till the very end. Right. Let's begin our discussion. But before that, there is a small notice for all of you. If you're preparing for UPSC Civil Services examination, if you're an aspirant for UPSC Civil Services, then this is the batch for you, because StudyIQ has brought a very unique program. From prelims till interview, we will be hand-holding you. And if you clear prelims, there will be your foundation batch starting from April 2023. It will continue till January 2024. And after 2024 January, we are purely going to focus on prelims. And if you clear prelims, the next stages, entire expenditure would be taken care by StudyIQ. You will be called to the mains residential program. You will be trained continuously in mains answer writing. So you'll be ready for the examination. So all these things, they're coming at a very handy price, 29999. And if you want this particular price, you have to use my code Rahul Live. Remember, the batch is starting on 22nd April. Before that, enroll. I'll see you in the class. All right. Right. Let's begin our discussion. As I told you, this entire discussion is about the Blinkit services, which are temporarily unavailable right now in Delhi and the NCR region. Why? Because the Blinkit delivery executives, they have started protesting about the new pay structure. As I told you, Blinkit is something new. And I told you that when I was in Delhi, it was not Blinkit, it was actually Grofers. And Grofers was acquired by Zomato, and later it was rechristened as Blinkit last year. If I'm not wrong, mid-2022, this thing happened, okay? Blinkit, you must have seen a lot of ads that if you want anything, just blink it, it will be there in a blink. It will be there in a flash with you. So what has exactly happened? See, Blinkit, as I told you, it is a delivery e-commerce player. So what you have to do is you have to simply download the Blinkit app, and if you want anything, you order it, and the Blinkit delivery person will pick it up from any store, and then they'll deliver it to you. Be it whatever, it may be groceries, it may be milk, it may be bread, it may be anything. All right. Again, there are certain rules and regulations, the clauses, that conditions do apply, but it's a delivery app. So the delivery agents there, they used to get paid quite handsomely, because last year when Blinkit was acquired, or when Blinkit was created, after Grofers was renamed to Blinkit, the payment was quite handsome. The delivery person, they used to get 50 rupees per order. That means any amount of order, say if I order anything on Blinkit, the delivery person is going to get 50 rupees for that particular order. He might deliver me 100 rupees worth item, 1000 rupees worth item, whatever item, he'll be getting 50 rupees, right? But Blinkit changed it recently, right? They have this particular price from 50 rupees, they reduced it to 25 rupees per order. And very recently, just last week, they have reduced it to 15 rupees per order. And because of this reduction in the price per order, it is no more handsome or no more attractive for the delivery partners. And delivery personnel, delivery partners, they are now protesting. These new protests are mostly happening in Delhi and the NCR region. And Blinkit model is somewhat different. See, we can talk about other gig based platforms, like you can talk about Uber, you can talk about Ola, you can talk about Swiggy, Zomato, but Blinkit is somewhat different. What happens with Blinkit is they have started their own dark stores in Delhi and NCR region, in Gurgaon and in other places. So what they do, they assign some delivery partners to these particular stores. And since the protest has started, Blinkit has announced that they are closing down many of these Blinkit dark stores in Gurgaon and in other NCR regions. What does that mean? That means basically they do not need these delivery partners anymore. Probably they might be running in loss. So this has brought to fore the issue of gig economy again. Now look at these delivery people, look at these delivery partners. They were having a job yesterday where they used to earn 50 rupees per order, and say if you complete 10 orders in a day, you're earning 500 rupees every day. All right. So now it has been reduced, and now they're telling that we are closing down stores also. So this has brought to fore one of the big issues with gig economy, especially the issue of job insecurity. We'll talk about that. But let's first try to understand what is this entire model. This model is a model of gig economy. The Blinkit model, or the so-called Ola model, Zomato model, Swiggy model, any model, right? They are the gig economy model. Now, gig economy means they focus, or the economy focuses on non-permanent jobs or on-demand jobs. So gig economy basically is characterized by short-term contract work or freelance work, as opposed to or as against the permanent jobs. So when you have a permanent job, you have a permanent salary. That means you'll be working for 30 days. After 30 days, you'll get a salary. Along with the salary, you'll also get certain health benefits or the social security benefits, all the other benefits, say Provident Fund, NPS, whatever it is. But with the gig economy or the gig workforce, they do not have anything like that. That means you work one day, you get the money next day, or you get the money that evening itself. For example, see, I am a cab driver. I drive the cab, and in a day, I complete 10 rides, 15 rides, whatever rides I've completed, I'll get the money, I'll get the incentive, I'm done. So that day's money is with me. So it's like a short-term work contract. So many examples can be given. Blinkit is one of the examples. There is Ola, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy. There are so many which have emerged in recent times. Right now, many people have come. For example, that big basket people, there is something called as BB Now. In fact, since the time Blinkit services are actually down from last 1 week or 3-4 days, the other services have been rising. The other services orders are continuously rising. We have so many. For example, Swiggy has started their own Swiggy Instamart. You must have heard about it, right? The big basket have started BB Now. There is one more delivery. There's one more delivery startup called Zepto, right? You must have heard about Zepto also. There are so many delivery startups which are now getting more orders because of the issue with Blinkit, right? So this is the meaning of gig economy. Now you must have a question, sir. Gig economy. Now gig economy, why is it rising? But before that, there is one more concept also. You must have heard about this concept of moonlighting. This was also in news in recent times. A simple question can emerge, an MCQ can emerge, where you might be asked, what is the meaning of moonlighting? And 4 options can be given. Moonlighting means having multiple jobs at the same time. And this is one of the features, I can say, or one of the byproducts, or one of the effects of this gig economy. Someone is having a permanent job. Say they are earning 20,000 rupees per month with one job. But what they are doing is they are doing some other gig work, maybe in their free time or maybe during the office time also, to earn some extra money. That is the feature of gig economy. It's not permanent work. It's a freelance work. It's a basic contractual work. You finish your work, you get the job done, you get the money, and we are done. That's it. That's the idea. So moonlighting has become quite prominent because in recent times, many CEOs have highlighted that moonlighting is unethical, and employees who are moonlighting, they would be fired, right? So many companies have highlighted this particular issue. So it is again connected with gig economy. But the next question in front of us, Sir, why this gig economy is emerging, or why so much of growth in gig economy? What are the numbers of gig economic workforce in India? See, first of all, it is continuously rising. In India, the gig economy is on rise from last 5 to 6 years. I would say from 2015-16, there is a continuous rise in number of gig workers. In fact, if we talk about the data, there is no government sponsored data or there is no NSSO data, but there is a very interesting report of Niti Aayog. It is titled India's Booming Gig and Platform Economy, which has estimated that in 2020-21, the number of gig workforce in our country, it stood at 77 lakh. 7.7 million gig force workers, and the report also highlighted it is mainly dominated by medium skill to low skill jobs. All right, mostly connected to deliveries, low income jobs, right? Ride sharing, micro tasks, care, wellness, etc., etc., all these things, right? In fact, the report also highlights that in the upcoming years, by 2029-30, this number is going to be staggering 2.35 crore. That means from 77 lakh, almost a threefold rise is going to be seen very, very soon in the next 5 to 6 years. So that means gig economy is here to stay. The question is, sir, why it is going to rise? What are the reasons because of which it is going to rise? See, there are certain factors because of which gig economy is getting quite interesting. It is getting quite extensive also. The first one is rise of information and communications technology. Now everybody has a mobile, everybody has internet. One of the cheapest internets around the world is in India itself. Per GB of cost is extremely low in India. Communication has become quite extensive. Everybody has mobile. Apart from that, there is economic liberalization. That means there is competition now. There are so many companies. There is Ola, there is Uber, there is Swiggy, there is Zomato, there is Blinkit, there was Grow First, it was Blinkit, then there is BB now, Zepto. So many companies are coming. So many new e-commerce giants are coming. So growth of e-commerce along with economic liberalization has led to more and more players, and people are quite attracted to it, especially because of the demand of flexible work. Now flexible work means I want to work according to my time. Say for example, I am an Uber driver. So there is no time limit. I get up at 10 a.m. I start riding my car. I log in and I start riding my car. There is no time limit. You can work till 12 in the night, 1 in the night, or you can do your night duty. During the daytime, you can do some other work. So there is a lot of flexibility in terms of work. The only thing is you have to finish your work. You have been assigned a task, drop a person from A to point B, safely drop them. That's your job. You get the money. Apart from that, there is also a lot of interest towards side income. Now, this has become a phenomena in India that everybody wants to develop some sort of side income. Yes, I have a salary of 20,000 rupees, a permanent salary, but I also want to earn something extra from my side gig. That is also possible. It might be because of your free time, or it might be because of your extra work that you are putting in. That is what was highlighted in Moonlighting also, right? So there are so many issues. Apart from that, there is post-COVID push also. Post COVID-19, many people have lost their jobs and employment rate was on rise. So there was a lot of interest towards this gig workforce. Apart from that, there are a lot of players emerging. As I told you, economic liberalization, growth of e-commerce has led to more platform and non-platform gig workers emerging. In fact, now these gig workers can be to some extent compared to the contractual workers. But again, contractual workers have certain benefits, right? They are under a contract for specified amount of time. Even government is allowed to hire contract workers. You know, Contract Labor Act is there in India, right? But to some extent, it can be comparable. But gig workers are completely different, right? Just analogous to them, right? Apart from that, there is also ease of KYC that is happening. Why gig workforce is emerging? Because of information and communications technology revolution. People can be hired very easily. There is no need to meet also. For example, see, tomorrow I want to become a delivery agent. I'll just give a call to the company. Say give a call to Blinkit, right? Yes, my name is Rahul. I want to become your delivery partner. And they just ask me, what is your qualification? What is the work that you have done? Okay, fine. Just send me your documents. This is the payment structure. You finish these deliveries, you get this much of money. Give me your Aadhaar, give me your PAN card, give me all your details. Done and dusted. You are already employed. So ease has become very, or ease of employment or ease of hiring is also one of the factors for rise in gig force. Yes, so it is rising every day. The numbers are going to increase further to 2.35 crore, which is an estimate by Niti Aayog. But The question is everything hunky-dory with gig economy, right? On prima facie or on the surface, everything looks so good, right? Yes, I can work according to my schedule. I can work 2 jobs. I can work multiple jobs. Say if I want a holiday, I don't need to work because whatever hours I work, I get the money. Whatever orders I finish, I get the money. But there is also a flip side to this. There are so many challenges which are connected to it. Of course, the younger generation is getting attracted towards it. That is why there is a need to bring proper rules and regulations for gig economy, because there are so many challenges. The first and the biggest challenge is this is informal job. There is no job security. Today you have a job, tomorrow you might not have a job. See what exactly happened with Blinkit. Blinkit announced we are closing down the stores. The labor laws are quite relaxed. The new labor laws, right, quite relaxed. So we are just closing down the shop. That means you are basically fired. There is no job security here. There is a lot of job insecurity. Apart from that, there is lack of social security. This is a big problem. See, in a permanent job, what happens is a chunk of your salary is being contributed towards your employees' provident fund. Something goes towards your health insurance. Something goes towards your pension fund, right? So many things, so many social security measures for permanent job workers. But in gig economy, there's nothing. There's no social security. Apart from that, the financial illiteracy angle is another thing to be considered here. Because if you look at Niti Aayog research, they have clearly highlighted that the gig workers, they earn somewhere, the median earning of gig worker is somewhere around 18,000 rupees in India. And they do not save anything. They do not save anything. So if you do not save anything, what about your future? That is why the job insecurity comes in. That is where lack of social security comes in. Apart from that, there is also digital divide in India. That means this gig economy is a major phenomena, mainly in the urban areas, that too in the hyper urban areas. Say for example, has anybody used Blinkit services or Uber services or Ola services in your tier 2, tier 3 cities? Right? You might not have, because they have not entered there at all, because it is a phenomena connected with urbanization also. Apart from that, inconsistent income is another issue. Today you earn handsomely, because say I am a Uber driver, I got 20 rides today. I get money, I get incentive also. But tomorrow, if I do not find the riders, there is no income. Apart from that, there is a lack of government policy, there is lack of government data about the gig workers. And the biggest problem is there is social isolation. See, if I'm a gig worker, I'm working alone. I do not have any communication with the other workers or other delivery partners. That means I will not have any bargaining power, because I do not have any union, right? Say for example, have you heard of Blinkit Workers Union? No. But you must have heard about the other workers union for sure. So there is no workers union for these gig workers, right? Apart from that, companies do exploit. Now this is a classic example. This is a classic example of company exploiting, where to attract the gig workers, they tell you, I am going to give you 100 rupees per order today. As soon as people join here, they say, I am reducing it to 50. Then I reduce it to 25. Then I reduce it to 15. So this is a classic case of exploitation of workers, because there is no assured income here. Even if a person is willing to work, there is no work, or the payment is very, very less. So these are some of the major issues with gig economy in India, and that is what the Blinkit workers are facing right now, and that is why they are protesting. But in their protest also, I'm quite sure you must have understood what is the problem here. They do have a problem with their bargaining power, because of this gig working, they are socially isolated. They have not formed a union or association. Probably because of that, bargaining power is a little low. Yes, right. So by this, you must have already understood what do we need to do. Since gig economy is a reality, gig economy is here to stay. India is going to see crores of people working as gig workforce. Somewhere there is a need to bring a policy on gig economy, clear-cut rules and regulations. Probably we need to register gig workers, right? We need to register gig workers according to separate segments, probably in transport, in food delivery, in caregiving, in wellness, etc., in other fields, right? In education. Apart from that, there can be some incentives provided for women as gig workers, because this is quite extraordinary, especially for women. It is going to be liberating experience, right? And among the gig workforce, there is a huge chunk of women workers also involved. All right. Now, apart from that, there has to be some sort of a social security scheme which can be created for gig workers, right? Just like we have social security scheme for unorganized sector, right? There is Indira Gandhi old age pension scheme, all the other schemes, specific schemes where the gig workers can contribute to for their own pension fund, contribute for their own provident fund. Such schemes can be brought, right? Or we also have to give, I wouldn't say or, but we also need to add gig workers unions. Now this is very important. Gig workers, they can create their own association or union so that they enhance their bargaining power. And finally, we need to bring some sort of innovation, because see, gig economy is going to come up with its own problems, because there will be continuously conflicts between the working class and the capitalist class, highlighted by Karl Marx. Yes, so in gig economy also, it's no exception, because we are going to look at more and more conflicts between the workers and the owners of the companies. So come up with some sort of innovative gig business models. There are so many innovative gig business models which are coming up, where the government can play a role by connecting the workforce with the employers, right? So for example, there are so many, like I've heard of some of the gig models which are quite extraordinary. There is a gig model called as rocket lawyer, right? Rocket lawyer, where the lawyer services are provided as gig work, as a contract work. Rocket lawyer, right? There is Fiverr, right? There is Sheg. Sheg is an educational education startup, educational gig startup, okay, where they simply connect the teachers with the students. That means connect the demand with the supply and try to bring some sort of regulations which is going to help a lot in future. Perhaps the government has to work towards this, because the gig economy is continuously rising and the problems are going to come up again and again. So it is always better to bring a clear-cut policy for the gig workforce. That's the basic understanding from this discussion. I hope with the question that we started, you have enough fodder or enough content now so that you can write an answer. Do you have it? Right. That's it from this particular discussion. And if you have liked this discussion, you can always follow me on this particular ID @Rahul Sai 222. If you have any queries, if you want to connect with me, you can always message me on IG. I do respond on Saturdays and Sundays. Thank you for watching this video. Jai Hind.